Diane Lee from Teach Pre-K, and I've been getting ready for school to start, and I thought I'd give you a quick tutorial on how to make your own little cubby name strips. Um, I decided on these little dinosaur heads, and this is just like a little sample of mine. What you will need is you will need a current version of Microsoft PowerPoint for this tutorial. I work on a Mac, and I have discovered that even from Mac to Mac, everybody's edition of Microsoft PowerPoint is just a little bit different. So I'm going to tell you how mine works, but you might have to do a little tweaking and exploring on your own on some of these little setup things. But I'm going to get ready to share my screen with you, and I hope this is helpful. Okay, so here I am at my desktop. The first thing I'm going to want to do is to open up a browser window and go to Teachers Pay Teachers, and I already had this pulled up. But if you don't know how to get to Teachers Pay Teachers, just go ahead and type Teachers Pay Teachers up in your little address bar and it will come right up. Okay. I know that I want my name strips to have a cute background, so I'm going to type in background paper and do a search. Okay, over here where it says sort, where my cursor is, I don't want it to be by relevance. I want it to be by price, ascending, because then the free stuff will come up first. And as you can see, there is a lot of cute background paper to choose from. I happen to love Two Smart Chicks, and I like their stuff. I know that it scales well and it's great. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one. You can search until you find exactly what you want. But once I get to their page, I'm going to hit download. And since I hit download, I know that this is going to be in my downloads folder. So now I want a cute animal clip art. You don't have to do animals. You can do cactuses. If you know you want to do owls, you can do owls. If you want to do flowers. If you don't want to add anything else to your name strip, if you just want it to be the background paper in a box, just leave it as it is. But I want to add a cute animal because I teach preschoolers and pre-kindergartners. Okay, so then again, I want to go to ascending order. And I'm going to look down here. You know what? I don't like this search because I did clip art as one word. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of this and do cute animal clip art. Two separate words and see what I get. Okay. Let's see. Okay, lots of free animals. There's one specific thing I'm looking for. And let's see. Oh my gosh, pups and teacups. Can you stand how cute that is? See all this cute free stuff? I'm still not finding exactly what I want. Let's see. I want narwhal, so I'm going to do cute. Okay, here we go. Narwhal clip art. Boom. I always spell narwhal wrong, so let's see. Look at this. So adorable, and it's free. And I know that Rainbow Sprinkle Studios always has really cute stuff. So I'm going to go here. And again, just like I did with the background paper, I'm going to hit download. So I know it's going to be in my download folder. Now, what I showed you from my strips in my earlier color coding your classroom video, the font I use is a really good clear print font that comes really bold and big, and it's called KG Red Hands. And it is free if you are not using it commercially. If you are using it commercially, you need to buy a license, But if you're just making this for your classroom and you're not going to sell it, just go ahead and type KG Red Hands in here. It is absolutely free. Okay, here we've got bulletin board letters, and nope, don't want that. Digital letters, don't want that. I want this one. This is just the font. So since I already own this, I am not going to click on this, but I'll let you know. Well, let me see what it does. Yeah, you just download it like normal. However, if you are on a Mac, you will need to put this in your font book, which means you have to have PowerPoint, Word, and everything closed out before this will load into your font book to be used with PowerPoint. It will not show up in your fonts if you do not do that first. I found this out a long time ago, and it was super frustrating. So make sure you do whatever you have to do for your computer to get the font downloaded so you can use it in PowerPoint. Okay, speaking of, I am ready to go to PowerPoint. So I'm going to go to PowerPoint. I'm going to do new presentation. And when I pull up a new presentation, it is not the size that I want, and it has click to add title and subtitle up there. I don't want that. So I'm going to take my cursor to layout, and I'm going to click it and hit blank. So now that just got rid of all those words. Then I'll go to File, Page Setup, and I'm going to change this to Portrait. So I want to go 8.5 by 11 and scale up. Always scale up. I've had a program where that window doesn't come up, but if you get that window that comes up asking you if you want to scale up or down, scale up. Okay, so now I have my 8 by 5 by 11 blank page. So now I want to put my cute background paper on it. So I am going to go Format. And if you can't see this on my screen recording, it is going to be way up at the top. It is on your PowerPoint taskbar, way up top, okay? So I'm going to do Slide Background after I hit Format. I'm going to go to Picture or Texture Fill, and I'm going to go to Insert. I downloaded that paper, so I'm going to go to Downloads, and I'm going to do Date Added. Here's my background paper. Okay, and I kind of like this one. So I'm going to choose that one, and look, it comes right onto this slide of this presentation, and it's ready to go. Okay, I know from past experience that I can get 4 name strips out of one sheet of paper, and there's a super easy way to do that. You're going to go up to Insert on your PowerPoint menu, and you're going to go to Table. Okay, I only want 1 column, so number of columns, I'm going to do 1. I'm going to highlight number of rows, and I'm going to do 4, and I'm going to insert it right here. Okay, so now I have got this blue shaded table. I don't want a blue shaded table. I come up here. This is see how table design is underlined here. Okay, I know that it's going to be just a plain pen line, and it's going to be kind of thin. I'm good with that, so I'm going to come over to Borders. Click the drop down box and hit all borders, and you can see the black lines that showed up, but I still have this blue. I don't want that. So I'm going to hit the drop down box for shading, and I'm going to go no fill, and look, it made it transparent, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to stretch this up to the top and then stretch this down to the bottom. Stretch this over and stretch this over. So now I have got this whole thing. I'm going to make sure it's centered, and I have got it ready to go. So I know when I'm ready to cut these out, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, but I want the little space where I can write the name. So I'm going to go over to Home, Shapes, and click on the square. Click there. So there is my square. I do not want a blue square. I want a white square, and I want kind of a bold outline. So first thing I'm going to do is see where it says format shape. I'm going to go to the little paint can, and unlike my table, I don't want to click no fill. I do want a solid fill. I just don't want it blue. I want it white. So it changes that to white. And then for my line, I don't want a blue line. I want a black line. But you might want a blue line. You might want a red line, a pink line. I might want to do a line, the inside color. So I would go here. I'd go click on more colors. I click on the eyedropper and go like that and okay. And then I want this to be a 6-point line. So I'm going to highlight that and do 6. Ta-da! So now I've got the same blue that is on this page, but I kind of like having black because I like it to really be bold and stand out and not get muted up. But you don't have to pick black. I just did that to let you know you can choose any other color or pick out a color that's in your background if you want. So it's not the size that I want, and I know because my height of my paper is 11. I know that each section, since there are 4, is going to be about 2.5 to 2.75 inches just by doing simple math, because 4 into 12 is 3, so I know it's not going to be 3. And I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like I need to stretch this a little bit more. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to go highlight that, go over to size. I want my width to be, let's say, 7.5, and I want my height to be 2.5. Let's see if that's enough. Ooh, that might be too thick. Let's see. Yep, too thick. I don't have enough background, so I'm going to change this to 2.25 and just play with it. You can also use these little squares and get your double arrow and squish. Okay, that's about how I want it. No, it's not equal all the way around, but I don't really care. I like this background paper and I like this size. So now I'm going to click on this and do Command C, because that's how I copy. If you have a different way you copy the way you're comfortable copying. Command C is the way I copy. And then I'm going to do Command V, and there's my paste. Command V, I'm pasting another one. And since I want 4, I'm going to do Command V one more time, or paste, paste, paste until you have 4. Okay, so now I'm going to put these where I think I want them to go. Boop. Don't worry about getting everything perfect and aligned. Just kind of eyeball it. Ooh, that was like so nice how I got that centered. And I know if I have all of these on my guides centered, I'm good to go. But if you don't have your guides up, you're not going to be able to see that. So I have a guide from the center line at the top and the center line at the middle. And let's see if I remember. Okay, so if you want to put your guides in, go to View. Come all the way down once you get the drop box and go to Guides and do Dynamic Guides and Guides. Make sure those are checked. Make sure Ruler is checked. That gives you the ruler up top and you're good to go. I had a friend that had a Mac just like me. She had Microsoft PowerPoint. Hers didn't work the same way. So you might need to Google or go into Safari and just type in, how do I get the guides up on Microsoft PowerPoint? Okay, so now I want to make sure these are all in alignment and equally spaced apart. So I'm going to highlight every single one of these by holding my Command key down and clicking on them. Then I'm going to go up here to Arrange, drop down box. I've got Align, and I'm going to go to Distribute Vertically because they are vertical. So now they are all equidistant apart, and I'm going to use my up down arrows until I look at them and see as much of that cute paper peeking out at the top and the bottom of each section till it looks about even to me. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm ready to go. So now I want to put a cute little narwhal along this side. So I'm going to go to Insert. Dropbox comes down. I'm going to go to Picture from File. Since I just downloaded it, I'm going to go to Downloads. And I remember it was that Rainbow Sprinkle freebie. Okay, how I know where my downloads are, I go to Date Added. If I didn't say that before, make sure you're on Date Added, and that'll be super easy for you to find. Okay, and then I've got all these narwhals. I want the yellow one. You can choose whatever color you like. Since I know these little sections are about 2.5 inches, I'm going to go over here and make this about 2 inches. Or another way you can do this is you can go to one of the corners and you can just shrink it down just by dragging that corner. So let's see, does it fit in the space? Yes, it does. I want it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it a little tiny bit bigger so that it still fits in the space, but you can see more of it. Okay, there is my narwhal where I want it and the size I want. So now I want to make 3 more. So I'm going to highlight that, click on it, do my Command C, my copy, and then paste until I have 4. Then I'm going to do the same thing that I did with those squares. I'm just going to put them kind of where I think they need to go. But this time, instead of distributing horizontally, I just want to line them up. So I'm going to go over here to Align. Do you see how this now says Align instead of Arrange? I don't know why it does that, but it does that sometimes. So luckily, I don't have to go to Arrange and then find Align. I'm just going to align right. And so they all kind of snap, so they're all lined up. So yay. So now I'm ready to put the names in. So I always go off the page for this. You can click a text box in the page, but I always go off the page. I don't know why. It's just my habit. You can do whatever you want. But I'm going to go find my font, KG Red Hands, and I'm going to type in a name. And I've got Henry. I love it. I'm going to highlight it and make sure it's in the center, not coming from the right. And I want it bigger. So I'm going to try a 60-point font to see if that's going to be big enough. I'm going to kind of put it in the middle-ish. I'm kind of looking at the middle of the space from the narwhal to this edge, not the entire thing, because I want it to be centered within this whole thing. So that's way too small. So I'm going to go highlight it, and on my font size, I'm going to take it up to 80, and I like it. Okay, so now I've got Henry, and I have 3 more names I need to do on this sheet. So I'm going to highlight this and then do Command C for my copy and paste and paste and paste. Command V, Command V, Command V. And I'm going to put Henry in every one of these name strips, even though they are not all going to say Henry. But let's see. Let's start with this one, and I want to line it up. What I like is I'm eyeballing this, you guys, to get it to center of my rectangle, my little white rectangle, and those little red lines that showed up while I was moving this, let me know that these are all aligned. So another way I could do that is I could highlight every one of these names, go up to, now it says Arrange, and I don't know why, and I'm going to go to Align, and I want to align right. And I know they're all aligned, but I don't want them all to say Henry. So I'm going to highlight this one, and I'm going to type in Lucy because she's on my class list. I'm going to type in Gloria and James. Okay, I want to move James down a little bit. Okay, so here I have Henry, Lucy, Gloria, and James. And wouldn't it be lovely if this is all you have to do because you only had 4 kids in your class? Actually, it might be really boring. But I know I need to make more of these. Oh my gosh, am I going to go through this whole process all over again? No. I'm going to go up to Insert, Duplicate Slide, and ta-da! So now I can type in Susie, oops, capitalize Susie, Glen, Betty, and George. Awesome. Okay, and I'm going to show you something that might happen to you because some kids have super long names. So I have 12 kids in my class, so I know that I need to insert another duplicate slide to finish off these names. So I, this year, have a little girl named Wednesday in my class. And look, Wednesday does not fit, so I'm going to highlight the name Wednesday. And I'm going to go, oh, I know I need to make this smaller. Let's see if 66 will work. Yeah, that works. And, you know, this is kind of trial and error time. I might make it too small first try. I might make it too big. Just play with it until you get the size of the font you want. So it's still really bold and as big as you can get it, but obviously you want to make it fit. So let's just say I have someone named Tuesday because that would be awesome if I had Tuesday and Wednesday. Lottie and Frank. Okay, so now I've got my 3 pages of name strips. If I needed to do another one because I had 16 kids in my class, or I had 20 or 24, on and on and on, I just would insert a duplicate slide until I had enough and go through that same process. Okay, so now I'm ready to print. So I'm going to do File, Print, and I can print everything because I've got 3 pages that says 1 to 3. If I had other things in this presentation, I'll show you what I would want you to do. So go to Cancel. So I would highlight one, the bottom one, hit Shift, click the top one, and then all 3 are highlighted. So I would do File, Print, Selected Slides, so it will only print the highlighted slides. Okay, and then I would hit Print. I always do Scale to Fit paper too. I always have that clicked. And I make sure I don't have 2-sided clicked. So make sure you do that. Hit Print. And I will see you after these are printed. So I just printed out the name strips. And actually, once they're printed, I kind of like this yellow narwhal on there because there's a little bit of yellow in the fuzzy polka dots. So I've got all of my name strips ready to go. I will now put these in laminating pockets, run them through the laminator, cut them out, and I'll show you what they look like when they are done and ready to be put on your cubbies. Okay, so I have run my cubby name strips, desk name strips, table name strips, whatever you want to use them for, because you can use them for anything. I've run them through the laminator, so the color's nice and bright. It's kind of reflecting off my ring light, but that's what it looks like. Now I'm just going to cut on those black lines, and presto changeo, already done it. And here they are, super cute. We've got James and Gloria and Lucy and Henry. So how easy was that? That took 15 minutes tops, and you've got all these cute name strips. If you need any help, just shoot me an email at teachpre101@gmail.com. I'll put my email down in the description, and I'll help you when I can and however often I can. But it's a great way to just personalize your classroom a little bit. And now I did my search for cute, colorful animals. You guys, whatever you want your theme to be, you can do cute cactuses or owls or community helpers, and you will probably find something free that you really like. If you're willing to pay, $3 to $5 for some premium clip art, go ahead and do that. But I hope I've just shown you how you can get background papers, fonts, and a lot of really cute clip art without spending a penny. Also, just so you know, I printed these on cardstock. So I print everything on cardstock. If I did it on plain printer paper, they would be super flimsy and they would not last. When I print things on cardstock, they last. It is definitely worth it. So if your school has some white cardstock, grab some or make these at school. If they don't, it's worth it to buy a ream of cardstock and to print these at home or Kinko's or FedEx or whatever you're going to do. So that's all I have. Have a great rest of your summer.